Maybe you should make sure you don't need someone before you throw them away.
Those gunshots were accompanied by a Molotov cocktail hurled from the second floor at City Hall this morning. We begin our coverage tonight with Jeremy Thompson, who was at a press conference held a short time ago. Jeremy, we've heard the shots. We've seen images of the person arrested. What's the latest from police about what happened this morning at City Hall?
Well, Jeff, City Hall is still closed to the public here, to everyone but police who have been in the building much of the day doing a sweep after arresting the suspected shooter. And we're told he entered City Hall behind me here through the parkade and was heavily armed with a rifle of some kind as well as multiple Molotov cocktails. Now, the City Council's Emergency Management Committee was in session when it was interrupted by the sound of gunshots from outside the meeting room. The mayor, two councillors, the fire chief, and a few others were in the room. No one was injured, and police can't say whether the man knew that meeting was going on. Now, the whole building was evacuated, and one councillor says that was done quickly and calmly. Police say it was actually an unarmed City Hall security guard who stopped the man.
We're always concerned whenever we lose a business in our city.
Can I ask a question?
Oh, sure.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm going to ask you when you're going to address the collapse of downtown Edmonton.
I'm sorry?
When are you going to address the collapse of downtown Edmonton?
We are working on it.
You're not, though. Retail vacancies are at like a 90-95%, and that's the main root cause. And until you get tenants down here, you're not going to fix anything.
We are encouraging more people to come down, and we are building more residential.
Do you know what you need to do, in my opinion? And I study this. I'm an expert on retail. You need to force the landlords of all of those malls. That includes Oxford Properties, who ran away. That includes Aimco. That includes Manulife Investment Management and Quadreal. You need to force them to fill those malls up with stores immediately, or you're going to have a crisis like you've never, ever even dreamed.
So what we will do, we'll connect you to Downtown Business Association.
No, I don't want, that's not going to fix anything. So you're not going to address it? We're in a crisis. This is a crisis. All of the major land developers are to blame. That includes Cadillac Fairview. We might as well add Ivanhoe Cambridge, who owns Southgate, to the mix. They have all destroyed retail to the point that no tenants want to operate a store downtown. So I just confronted Mayor Sohi with the questions, and he just ran away, and I drilled it into him as long as I could, and he just ignored me. And we have a collapsed downtown Edmonton.
They don't answer.
This is a crisis,
That's
so
fair.
you have to, instead
fair.
of being here, you guys should have been doing what I was doing. You should have been asking him, what are you going to do about downtown Edmonton?
It's another media disaster.
Isn't that amazing? This totally wins my case, you know. Except it is highly confidential. This is secret information. Look at this.
Losing that grouping and clustering of wealthy shoppers, will harm downtown Edmonton, at least certainly from a high-end standpoint. And, downtown Edmonton didn't have a lot of, super high-end retail to begin with, but this is, almost, I guess you'd say, a nail in the coffin.
The city is disgusting.
The losing team will come to the boardroom. Somebody will be fired.
I took this footage on December 22nd, this Saturday, right before Christmas 2018. This is the Hudson's Bay with virtually no traffic, no customers. There is talk that they are planning on closing their downtown store. This is the city center shopping mall. And I took footage of many of the stores downtown and how there was hardly traffic in any of them. I went into Holt Renfrew, and that was the only store that had any traffic and was busy. They are what I would call the glue that holds this whole place together. And this is what shopping is like on the Saturday before Christmas with them there. So imagine this place when they are no longer a tenant downtown. On May 14th, 2019, Holt Renfrew made the announcement that they were closing this 70-year downtown Edmonton location on January 11th, 2020. After interviewing many of the shops downtown, I was told that the construction has destroyed their business. The customers do not want to drive downtown to experience traffic jams, lack of parking, and this has resulted in a dramatic drop in sales. So what is all this construction for? Well, the city has approved an LRT to run from Millwoods to downtown, and this will cost about $1.8 billion. But then a second leg will run from downtown to West Edmonton for approximately another $1.8 billion. How is this not a slap in the face to all of the downtown businesses? This city has destroyed their entire area, and this construction will go on for 3 to 5 more years. This construction disaster absolutely factored into Holt Renfrew's decision on vacating the downtown core. But West Edmonton gets everything they ask for in this city.
In less than a year, Edmonton's only Holt Renfrew location, located just over my shoulder, Manulife Place downtown, will be no more. A retail expert told Global News downtown Edmonton has seen increasing challenges for retail over the past 30 years, but Mayor Don Iveson says it isn't necessarily indicative of any such problems.
Retailers are going to make their own decisions, and so that's really up to them. You know, retail is changing all around the world. Lots of businesses are making different decisions, so I wouldn't read too much into it. Retailers are going to make their own decisions, and
Don Iveson thought the closure of the most iconic store in our city, Holt Renfrew, it's been a part of our city for 70 years. All he thought it deserved were 3 of his greatest sentences. He gave it 13 seconds of his time.
Lots of businesses are making different decisions.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, P.
This was my very first store. Chocolate Bikini Company, located in Eaton Centre Shopping Mall in downtown Edmonton. Eaton Centre became a part of what we know now as City Centre Mall. The loss of Holt Renfrew is a devastating blow to this city. One by one, you will witness these stores close, all of them, in all 3 malls downtown. Manulife Place, where many of them already have chosen to leave that center. Manulife connects Commerce Place to City Centre Mall. There will be no commerce in Commerce Place. Don Iveson is the current mayor of the city of Edmonton. This is his second term. He was re-elected mayor in 2017 with 73.6% of the vote. He has served on Edmonton City Council since 2007. He is responsible for the absolute destruction of this city by letting retail crumble the way it has and not addressing it as a problem. This man should not be allowed to run a lemonade stand, let alone a city. When 73.6% of the vote went to this man, this indicates that voting should not be a right when people are uneducated and listen to the mainstream media, who, as President Trump says correctly, is the enemy of the people. This is an absolute destruction of the city, and you will see that everything I said will happen. This will be a domino effect. It will start with the closure of absolutely all the stores in the 3 malls downtown, Manulife, Commerce Place, and the City Centre Mall. It will then continue to result in the closure of all of the stores that are along Jasper Ave. Our downtown city core is going to resemble a nightmare.
I think you are a very, very ineffective leader. Your decision-making was absolutely terrible. In this boardroom, we've never had a team lose so badly.
I can't pick one of them.
Robin, let him in.
All of you return to the boardroom, please.
You're all fired. All four are fired.
The loss of Holt Renfrew downtown is catastrophic. This city will never recover from that. Who is an expert in retail? Definitely not other billionaires who are also losing their stores. Not the Prime Minister. They don't teach this in any universities. Obviously not the media. And well, the mayor, he needs to go back to grade 1. At this point, all the stores that have signed leases should be able to tear up their lease and walk away because they have been deceived. They have not been told the truth by the mainstream media, who has a media blackout on all of this information that should be public. So stores can make informed choices before they sign away their life savings, where their chances of success are very unlikely. You can watch my What is a Terrorist video at bandmalls.com. I also uploaded an old mall map that proves all of this. Doesn't matter what section of the mall you're in, top level, bottom level, they're all affected. Very few stores can survive. This should be criminal.
Hudson's Bay has been a staple in Edmonton for more than 200 years. The Bay's own website showcases the chain's long history in the city. The Bay isn't the only large retailer to close its door in the core. Back in January, Holt Renfrew also permanently shut down after being open for more than 69 years.
This is the Hudson's Bay with virtually no traffic, no customers. There is talk that they are planning on closing their downtown store.
I'm disappointed, but it's not on our downtown. Our downtown continues to grow and will thrive, COVID or not.
The gradual closure of the downtown location will begin as soon as it reopens on the 19th, leaving a vast empty retail space in the city center mall.
And having to make some really tough decisions. I think it's a mistake on the Bay's part, but they're, like everybody else, probably constrained and constricted during COVID and having to make some really tough decisions.
Retailers are going to make their own decisions and
having to make some really tough decisions.
Lots of businesses are making different decisions.
And having to make some really tough decisions.